Welcome to the beginner sampler stitch Afghan. This is block 8. This time we're going to be doing the wave stitch. I don't know if that's what it's called on the website, but I guess that's what I'm going to call it. But it's just going to create kind of these little wave marks here. This will be the front. This is the back, so it looks different. I guess if you prefer that side, you could have it be the front. But I think this is the side that's intended to be the front. It's all going to be half double crochets and slip stitches on the back loop only. With this stitch, you're going to be using colors B and C, and I highly recommend on this one. The first time I made it, it was so much smaller than the rest of my blocks, like maybe only 3/4 the size. So I went up an entire hook size. I usually use J, and with this one I used K, and it brought it really close to the size that it needed to be. I guess it's just a tighter stitch, so that is what I would suggest to do. And what we're going to do is start off by chaining 36. All right, that should be 36. With this first row, you're going to start from the second chain from the hook. You're going to do 5 slip stitches. So that's 1, 2. I'm going to go in right there. So a slip stitch, you just go in, and I'm just going to pull all the way through. Now this one, I highly recommend being very loose, because these slip stitches are really hard to get into later if you are tight. So just really work on those loose stitches. Don't worry about being too loose. It's going to be okay. So that was 1, 2. This first row, of course, is just harder because there's not much to hold on to. 3, 4, and 5. So there's my first 5 slip stitches. Now I'm going to do 5 half double crochets. So yarn over, pull through all 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so we have our first 5 slip stitches and our first 5 half double crochets. You're going to keep that pattern going all the way across, 5 slip stitches and 5 half double crochets until the very end. Okay, here's the last 5, and you're just going to end with slip stitches again. So you started with slip stitches and you're ending with slip stitches. And I had the right number of stitches, which is always lovely. But if I ever am short or have too many, I make an adjustment by just putting an extra stitch in at the end, or just leaving a little bit hanging, because nobody will ever know, and that keeps me from having to redo all of that. So it'll all fix itself later. All right, so this time we are going to chain 1 and turn. Now we are going to be doing 5 slip stitches again. So let's see, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will be the first one that I do right here. So you can see that yarn right there. My yarn's coming through this loop, so it's the very next one that I'm going to be going in. And for this, you're doing back loop only. So you can see the little V right there. we're only going under that one. It's very important because it will give you that wave look. If you do both, which I accidentally did on my first block, it did not give the right look. So definitely going back loop only gives you the look that you're going for. So that was 1. Remember, loose. 2, see how loose I'm keeping that? 3, 4, and 5. So I just did 5 slip stitches in the 5 slip stitches. And now I'm going to do 5 half double crochets in the next 5 half double crochets. Back loop only. All right, so here's my 5th slip stitch at the end. So now that is my first 2 rows. I have 2 slip stitches together and then 2 half double crochets together, stacked on top of each other. So it kind of creates that wave. Now, as you can see here, the waves are opposite every 2 rows. So this time, you're only going to stack them the same on top of each other twice. And then, so now we're going to change this. This is going to be different. So we're chaining 2 and turning. Now, it's going to be right here. Since these are slip stitches, this row we're doing the opposite from the row below it. So I'm going to half double crochet in all the slip stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to do slip stitches in the next 5 half double crochets. Loose. And then just keep repeating that back all the way across. 5 half double crochets, 5 slip stitches opposite from whatever it is the row below, all the way across. Okay, now you might want to just double check to be sure that you remembered that you were supposed to be doing back loop only. Now we just finished half double crochets. You can see, to kind of remind yourself, you can tell that you just did half double crochets because you can kind of see a gap between this ridge and that ridge. So you know those are half double crochets. So we've only done 1 of those. So whenever you're starting a row with half double crochets, you're going to chain twice at the beginning of the row. But whenever it's time to switch to slip stitches, you're only going to chain once. So since we need to do another row of half double crochets, we're going to chain 2. And then of course, this is the back side now. You can see that there's the wave, and then this is the back side. So you're going to just, of course, do 5 half double crochets in each of your half double crochets, and then 5 slip stitches in your slip stitches all the way across. And then pretty much that is what you're going to do the rest of the blanket until it makes a square. Hold on, I can't talk and do this at the same time. I think that was, yeah, that was 4. And then when you get it to be a square, then again you do your edge, which is 38 stitches with a chain at the corner on each side and chains in the corner. And then that is pretty much it for the wave stitch.